What up? It's your boy Guillotine here at the Guillotine News Network. How's everybody doing today? All family. It is an honor and a blessing to be able to come before you today. Are we going to have a tremendous show? A tremendous show. Some guys have all the luck, while some guys have all the pain. Some guys get all the breaks. What we gonna deal with today is an awesome show. It's for my Macs, my players. And I mean that in the heart of a player, the heart of a Mac. The heart of a man that just a confident brother, a confident man, a confident youngster. The difference between the bum and the king. What's the difference between the bum and the king? The only difference between the bum and the king, both of them have 24 hours in a day. Both of them are sucking in pretty much the same oxygen that is prevalent throughout the earth. Both of them have the ability to get the rays from the sun. So what is the difference between the bum and the king? The only difference between the bum and the king is one thing: how they think. One thinks like a damn bum, and the other one thinks like a king. So this show is for everybody, because we got some people out there that think like bums. They have that self-pity that some guys get all the girls. Some guys, they get all the breaks and I don't get any. Some people, they were just born with a silver spoon in their mouth. That's why they're successful. I came from hard, humble beginnings, and I had a lot of obstacles in my life, and that's why I'm not successful. I'm a little overweight. That's why I can't get any women. There's some people that always have excuses. The difference between the bum and the king is simply one thinks like a bum and one thinks like a king. I think like a king. I know I am a descendant from kings. I know it. I've never seen my chart on my background and heritage, but I absolutely know it. You know what? And even if they did an investigation and found out that I came from peasants, I still wouldn't believe that. And if I did come from peasants, I'm the one that was birthed into the world to break that cycle. Because I'm a king. And that's what we're going to be dealing with today. There's a lot of self-pity. There's a lot of self-doubt that I'm beginning to hear coming up from the ranks of the soldiers, the warriors. Men, we're the warriors. We're the soldiers. We're the strength. And I'm hearing too much weak talk coming out of the mouths of the warriors. This is the army of guillotine. The army of guillotine, we don't have punks and self-pity individuals that tune into this station. And if they tune in, it's because they have now determined that they want to be on the path towards becoming a king, a warrior, a soldier. Somebody who has strength and power, whose spirit is going to be absolutely felt in this world. I'll be damned if I go through the world and nobody knows I'm there. But let me show you how they're producing and making this weak, watered down person. We're so weak now. We are so weak. Not all of us, but we do have a segment of the soldiers who are just weak. Mentally, physically, spiritually, mentally, morally weak. But how they try to overcompensate for their weakness, for their lack of self-esteem, is through the acquisition of material things. That's how a lot of people are overcompensating for their weakness. It's through what they can acquire materially. If I'm weak and I can go and I have the resources to go get a Lambo, I'll go get the Lambo because, not because I really want the Lambo, though I may think it's a nice car. I'll get it because I really want people to think I'm something that I'm not. A lot of dudes, and I'm in shape. I go to the gym. I work out. I stay in shape. That's just something that I like to do. But a lot of dudes will overcompensate for their weakness by getting extremely big. They always felt weak and bullied and punked. Probably got punked as kids. And so when they got an opportunity to overdo it, to try to convince you that there's something that they know inside they're really not, they took it to the extreme and got steroids and all pumped up. Now there's some people that are really into that. But I would say probably 70% of those dudes that you see walking around with the extra big muscles, the overly sized muscles, you can tell they're on some type of steroids. And don't knock if you're on steroids. I'm not trying to knock you on that. I'm just saying that if you're truthful with yourself, you know that you have grossly overcompensated for what you lacked internally. You see that a lot in the black community, especially amongst the black community, because for the longest we didn't have any money. We were poor. We got teased for having to go to school with the same shoes that we wore last year, or holes in our pants and roaches. And I mean, a lot of us came from some hard beginnings. And so as soon as we can get some money, the first thing that we do to overcompensate for what we lack inside is we have to get the biggest chain, the biggest watch, all these diamonds. Everything we wear has to be Louis and Gucci and Prada and blah, blah, blah. Because what we're actually doing to the wise ones amongst us, we're telling on ourselves. The wise ones know that you're really telling on yourself. The ignorant ones who are just as pathetic as you, they look up to that. Some may be saying, oh, he's just trying to find a way to hate on those that have it. No, I'm not. I've never hated on anybody's progress in life. I want all of us collectively as a people to be able to get whatever you want in life. I really do. But I'm just trying to make some examples, and I guarantee you, even Kanye said it in his song. He said he was just the first to admit it about having to go out with the watches and all that in his rap song about being insecure. You remember that rap song? He was just saying that I'm the first to admit it. I'm doing all of this because of the insecurity in myself. So what the enemy has done is he has set it up to where now you can get all this acclaim and prestige and so-called respect based off of the blind ones amongst us looking up to you based off of what you have materially. Which, you know, if you were to look in the mirror and be truthful with yourself in the quiet of the night when nobody's around to have to floss in front for, you know that you have issues internally within yourself, and that's why you go to all these extremes to want to be the man, when you know that deep down inside you never felt like the man. But then there's another breed that just know they the man. They just know that they the damn man. They don't have to be famous. Not that being famous there's anything wrong with that. They don't have to be famous. They don't have to put pictures up on YouTube and Instagram and walk around with big watches and big chains. Though they may like those things, they don't have to do it. If they didn't have it, they would still feel like the damn man. That's another breed of dude. And those people that are listening to this show, you know who you are. Shout out to all those type of men. Much respect to all those type of men. This world needs those type of men again. We got a group of men who are literally carrying that female energy, because when you have to get prettied up to feel good about yourself, that's a female trait. You notice that if a woman can go and get something as small as getting her nails done, then she feels good. And Lord forbid when she gets her hair done, you can't say nothing to her. Shout out to my sisters, though, who keep it fly. Shout out to the sisters that keep it fly. I'm not knocking that. I'm just trying to show where now we have a group of men who are overcompensating for their internal weaknesses through material acquisitions. That's all I'm trying to point out. I'm getting quite disturbed. I'm very disturbed by this new breed of man, if you want to call them men. And I'm not trying to challenge anybody's manhood, because most men in this society believe that they can prove that they're a man by how much money they can toss to a stripper at a strip club. Most men in this society believe that they're a man, that if they have more money than you, that makes them more of a man. They really believe that. But let me get back to what this show is really about today. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in to the Guillotine News Network, where we are all about slaying and chopping the head of lies, falsehood, and deception. This show is about this new breed of pathetic men who are always about self-pity and excuse making. This new breed of man, I'm asking the real brothers, the real people, the real men, to rid yourself immediately of these type of individuals because they will bring you down. These type of men, this type of thinking will get contagious. This type of thinking will begin to grow in you like a virus. And you know how you hear one person cough, and then after a while, everybody's starting to cough because of that one person? It's the same with this self-pity Negro. This self-pity Caucasian, Asian, Hispanic, Native American. All races of men have caught this virus. Where you are around your dude, your friend, your cousin, and they are self-pity. I can't get her. I don't have enough money, man. She want the ballers. I ain't got a six-pack. Man, I won't never be able to get no car like that working where I'm at. Man, they only pay me $10 an hour. So, of course, he'll get the better girl than me. Every time you talk to them, they have a self-pity story. And that's why I started off with that old 1980s Rod Stewart. That's a self-pity song. He could have been making a point, and I really think he probably was. The self-pity song, some guys have all the luck. Luck is not something that's just handed to people. Luck stands for laboring under correct knowledge. That's what luck stands for. If you want something, then you have to step out on it and bring it into reality. This show's not going to be long because those of you who are the bum who want to become the king, just remember this simple principle. To become the king, you have to start thinking like a king. And I'm not saying in the delusional mindset, because right now we have a whole epidemic of men who believe they're kings simply based off the amount of money they have. That's not what a king is. A king is somebody who respects his fellow brother, regardless of how much money or lack of money he has. A king is somebody who looks out for his community, for his family, for those that he loves, for the less fortunate. A king is somebody who respects women. A king respects women. So if you don't respect women, you're not a king. I don't care how much money you have. A king is somebody who's always trying to inspire someone to become better. A king is somebody who is always trying to inspire and motivate and encourage people to become better. A king never will knock you or kick a person when they are down. As a matter of fact, the king will always look to inspire and encourage and strengthen that person who's down. A king studies. A king reads books. A true king studies and reads books. A true king teaches others how to make smart, wise investments with their money. So you'll never find a true king in a strip club throwing money at strippers. A true king does not throw money at strippers when they know that the average person could literally take care of their family off of the thousands of dollars that they waste throwing at a stripper. They respect money, in other words. A true king respects money and makes wise decisions with his purchases and with the money that he has been blessed to receive. A true king reads, studies, inspires others. A true king is health conscious, and he inspires others to be health conscious. A true king does not always first and foremost resort to violence. A true king does not always resort to violence, because a true king has something that's very precious called life. And he wants to show others that he respects the life of others. That's a true king. But a true king also knows that in order to remain a king, you have to have wisdom. A true king has to have wisdom. So family, I thank you once again for tuning in to another episode of the Guillotine News Network. It's always a blessing and a privilege to come before you to share a few words of the Guillotine Gospels. I thank you, Guillotine Army. God bless. Peace. Holla.